Alfie? Yes, man!
That's
Come
what the high
on!
press gets you.
Nice
That
away!
is what the high press gets you.
That is ideal. What a start that is, Charles. Let's go! Let's go! High press from Kent there, as Dalus was touching on. Beats the keeper to it, then cuts it back from Morelos, who just has to get it before the defender and tap it into an empty net. 1-0 Rangers. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and this one is going to be a review of what is another crazy game in Europe for Rangers. I feel like I have to start this off by saying, as a fan, I'm very glad that tie is over with. The neutral would have absolutely loved watching that, but again, as a fan at times, it was very heart and mouth. At the same time though, how refreshing is that to watch compared to the boring SPFL 11-man behind the ball and us just trying to break things down. Oh, I absolutely love watching us play in Europe. There was no real surprises with the starting 11 for today. It was Balogun who got the nod at right back. He didn't have the best of games today, to be fair. Lukaku, as that left wing back, was absolutely on fire tonight. But speaking of players on fire, Morelos steps up inside the first 10 minutes. A high press again, getting rewarded, and we're off to the perfect start. Just how much Balogun was really struggling to deal with Lukaku was shown with their first goal. He got turned inside out, nutmegged, threw the ball along the box, and it was actually a Rebo who the tracking was quite poor from him. The strikers just ran in, he's got away from any defender, and Rebo was the closest man to him. It was quite a soft goal, but it's one of the, it was a quite good goal from Antwerp, to be fair.
Good goal for Antwerp.
It's a decent goal, that.
Right.
Balogun does get rinsed on the wing there. It gets cut back easy up.
With the outside of his foot, I think. He's just
offside, you know. The next big moment that I want to talk about in the game was a great piece of sportsmanship by Morelos, and this one, the Scottish media, the Rangers haters, they're going to be really, really confused as to how to feel about this one. I'm of course talking about a passage of play where Rangers actually had a pretty good chance to score, but the player that was marking Morelos at the time pulled his hamstring, went off the pitch, and Morelos didn't want to take advantage of it, put his hand up and stopped the play, and you've got to give a round of applause for that type of sportsmanship. That type of moment just is a testament to how good of a guy he actually is off the pitch. We know he has this persona on the pitch, but that is just what Alfredo Morelos is about. He's an aggressive footballer, but off the pitch, you won't meet a nicer guy. Lukaku's brother, Romelu, who was watching the game, of course, just to see how his brother was getting on, even tweeted out this about the incident. Our next talking point here is the big decision that had to be made at half-time. Balogun, who was already on a yellow and constantly getting rinsed so far in this game, do you keep him on and risk the red, risk Lukaku creating lots more chances on that side, or do you bring on the only option in Patterson? And now, of course, this is a sticky situation. Him, Zungu and Bassi all made the bench for tonight's game, which personally I was surprised with. I've seen a lot of other people were surprised with that as well. But after their apology, they must have been training pretty well because Gerrard's allowed them the chance to come back into the squad, whereas Fridge and Jones didn't get that chance at all. Now, I think the long-term viewers of the channel, but to be honest, it's quite obvious. Gerrard's always had a little bit of an issue with Jones's attitude. It would seem that way from the public looking in. Of course, we don't know what goes on in training week in, week out there, but there's always been that little sense of Gerrard isn't happy with Jones's attitude. Now, what I'm trying to get at by this is how can Jones and Fridge be treated by just absolutely bombed out the squad, and then the other three get, well, two of them have actually come on the pitch tonight. Of course, we'll talk about Patterson's performance on the pitch in a second, but how can they be treated so differently? Again, there's only so much that we can sit here and speculate because we don't know the ins and outs of what goes on behind the scene at Rangers. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments about that situation. But if you are trying to get back in the good books with Rangers fans, Nathan Patterson, that second half is a good way to go about it. Pretty much his first touch of the ball in that second half, his first involvement, and he does this. Oh, hold on. Right away here.
There we go, there's
right
the
away, let's go, man! What the fuck?
Oh my!
It's Patterson! Oh my!
I take back everything I said about the boy. Take it all back.
It had to be. Not only his goal, but his defensive play and his possession play, his passing as well in that second half. Arguably the best that we've seen of Nathan Patterson. And you really did see how much that goal meant to him in the celebration. You could tell that was a lot of frustration, just a lot going on inside his mind, and that release when he scored that goal, I can only imagine that feeling. And the next goal in the game is the one that gave me a big sigh of relief. That was the moment where I thought, right, we're really going to do this, we're going to go through to the next round, and you just never knew how this tie was going. They were scoring, we were scoring, it was just absolutely chaotic.
Our right hand side, by the way, Alfie,
Lovely. Oh, that's a lovely goal!
Ryan,
Again, it is Alfie and Ryan Kent teaming up. And we've made it 3. That should be game over. Brilliant from Morelos. Hits the ball round one way, goes the other way around the defender, absolutely sails him, puts it back across for Kent. Wow, what a team goal that is again. Not talking about that because Antwerp just scored a goal.
Aye.
Dalus is on a rant there, and Antwerp just scored the goal, and it's looking like another one of those games, chat. Goldson's lying flat in his face after this. Let's see this again. All in behind Goldson.
Goldson gets McGregor's shoulder to the face.
Striker gets in between the two of them. Does well. Brave from the striker. Good angle to get the goal. Oh man, am I back to game on again? Oh man. What is it with this Antwerp? We just can't shake them off. Then keeping up with chaotic expectations of this match. Penalty to Rangers, and it was Alfie who won it, again involved, and I do believe, looking back on this now, that he was involved in 8 out of the 9 goals that we scored against Royal Antwerp. Insane numbers. The penalty itself, personally, you see my reaction to it, I believe it's a little bit soft, but that's just the way that strikers need to play. Nowadays, like, you don't want to encourage diving, but if Morelos stays on his feet, he's not going to get the penalty. It's stupid the way that penalties work. It should still be a penalty. But Morelos goes to ground after being clipped. He does take another little step or two. It is a bit soft in my opinion. But if he doesn't go down, he's not winning that penalty. He gave here. Penalty! Penalty to Rangers! Here we go, VAR. Well, we checked here. It looked a little bit soft when Morelos just went down. I'll tell you our thoughts on it right now. Hand on the back, clip. I don't know. He's missed his last one. How's this one going to go? He's making the keeper wait. He's making us wait. Is the wait worth it? Oh, mistake! He goes to the right again. That's what looks like side net and a better penalty. 4-2 to Rangers. Who's next? Who's the next round? Then living up to the penalty Rangers meme that is our 4th penalty and 9 goals within this game. And it was Cedric Itten who stepped up to take it. And what I liked about this is Borna said in an interview after it that Borna was still meant to take the penalty, but Itten just asked if he could. And Borna gave his reason why his strikers need their confidence, and he wanted to think of the team first, getting Itten's confidence up rather than his personal goal scoring record, which is brilliant to see.
Back to you, sister.
Oh!
What?
We've got another penalty!
Again. Here we
go! Rangers!
Gee, right it. Give it to
Scott Wright doing brilliant. It's good to see that he's not shy to take on a player.
It's not. It is Wright stepping up to it. No, it's not. It's Itten. Okay.
Didn't see him hitting it, but
no.
Cedric Itten. Let's see what you've got then, son.
Step up and play, Cedric.
Announce yourself. I'll rate this, by the way. A chance to get his confidence up. Cedric Itten from a spot straight down the middle.
The keeper.
5, and that's what was that, the fourth penalty we've got?
4th penalty against these guys.
But that's all I'm going to talk about in today's video, and now we're on to the draw tomorrow, midday 12, and we're going to be doing a live stream here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to make sure you don't forget about that or miss that, because we will be going live doing a reaction video to that. I'm just going to quickly look at my phone here to run through some of the teams because it's a conversation. Again, we can talk about this a bit more tomorrow, but do you want your glamour of Man United to look like they're through? If Leicester get through, Spurs, your Bayer Leverkusens again, Arsenal who got through, Ajax who got through. Personally, I would like Mold, who have surprisingly got past Hoffenheim at 5-3 in aggregate. I would rather see us come up against, well, no one's easy at this stage, but an easier opponent in this last 16, and let's just see how far we can get in this competition because we are a darn good team and we can really prove it here. So as always, a huge shout out to everyone who joined into our watch along. Fantastic viewers and support over there again. Thanks to you if you're still watching the video at this point, and we'll see you tomorrow.